So first of all, I would like to say good afternoon, teacher, and hello, everyone. We are group number 7, and we're responsible on unit 14 about word forms. So our group has 5 members. There are Học Ly, Richard Can, which is me, Lee Hua, Bobby Tu, and Wang Jianli. And today we're going to talk about the word forms, and we will be telling you about what is word forms, meaning of word form, suggestion for reducing errors, for common problems, and we're gonna talk about grammar solution also, and we will be telling you about comparative and superlative forms of adjective and choosing the appropriate participle as an adjective. So, okay, for the next minute, we will be presenting for each part. And for now, I will be passing the next moment to our first member. Thank you.
Good evening. Hello, teachers. And my name is Chu Học Ly. So I'm going to presentation about the first point is a word form. So now word form is one in which the choice of word in is correct, but the wrong form of it has been used. And for the note, we need to know that in word form we use the part of speech. We will address in this unit are nouns, verb, adjectives, adverb, and present and past participle used as an adjective. So now let's move to the next slide. As you know, a verb form can have several different forms depending on whatever the word functions as a noun, verb, adjective, or adverbs, especially errors with the present or participle that are used as adjective too. And now here are some suggestions for the using errors. When you are unsure whether you are using the correct form of a word, look up the word in dictionary to check part of speech that have many like nouns or adjective, etc. And for the next point, become aware of common words ending called suffix that identify words as noun, verbs, adjective, or adverbs. And the last is take time to analyze sentence, making sure you can identify nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverb in each sentence. So now let's move to our presenter, the next presenter.
Okay, so for now, we will be talking about 4 common problems that most writers have faced whenever they use word form. Okay, for the problem number 1, the choice of a word is correct, but the wrong part of speech has been used. Look at this example. For incorrect, she was easily persuaded to change her vote. And the correct sentence is, she was easily persuaded to change her vote. For example, here, the writer has used the correct word to express what they want to talk about in the sentence, but for the part of speech, they have been used the wrong one. As you know, part of speech is noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. So for here, you need to make sure that you have used the right one to to form a sentence in order to have the right sentence. Yeah. So for example number 2, incorrect. Her attitude is a reflect of the views of society. So the correct one is, her attitude is a reflection of the views of society. So the incorrect sentence here, they use reflect. It is a verb instead of reflection, that is a noun. So you have to make sure that you know what the part of speech that you're using. So let's move to the problem number 2. A suffix has been used incorrectly. So you know, a suffix is the word that ended with ful, ended with ness, ended with li, and this ended with meant, and ended with less. So look at this example here. The incorrect one is I am a graduate student in the Department of Management and Financement, which is incorrect because financement here they use here they use financement, which is incorrect. And the correct one is I am a graduate student in the Department of Management and Finance. So you have to know about the suffix in case to avoid using it wrong. So you have to learn about it yourself. Let's move to next slide. This is some self-help strategy in order to use the correct suffix. The first one is study the list of common word suffixes to become familiar with noun, verb, adjective, and adverb suffixes. And keep in mind that there are no rules that will tell you whether a word requires a specific suffix to mark it as a certain part of speech. For example, the noun form of the verb manage requires the ment ending, while the verb finance does not require an ending to form the noun finance. It means some word doesn't need the suffix to identify that it is a noun or it is a verb. So you have to study more about the suffix and you have to study more to be able to use the suffix correctly. And to verify word okay, so this is problem number 3. The incorrect adjective or adverb form has been used in a comparison. So the incorrect one is this semester, Faiza has been more busier than usual. And the correct sentence is this semester, Faiza has been busier than usual. It is also really important to know how to do comparison in order to write the correct sentence. So this one also you need to know more about how to use word in comparison. So let's move to the last problem 4. The incorrect present or past participle form has been used as an adjective. For example, the incorrect sentence is the essay was interested, and the correct sentence is the essay was interesting. So about this part, the other member will be presented more into it. So you will know about how to use present participle or past participle form as an adjective correctly. So this is all about my point. I'm gonna pass this moment to the other presenter. Thank you.
Thank you, Vijika. Hello, teacher and classmate. Vijika just mentioned about 4 common problems, and now I will explain more about common word suffixes. Well, there are suffixes that that help you to recognize common noun, verb, adjective, and adverb suffixes. Let's move to the next slide, please. And now I will explain about noun suffix. Yep. And in the noun suffixes, there are suffixes that you can recognize, like ANC, ANCE, ANCY, ANT, and there are a lot more suffixes like you can see in the box. And for example, when we use the word educate with ATION, it will become education, and the term education, it is the noun suffixes. And the second example, we use teach with ER, and we get the word teacher, and the word teacher is the noun suffix. And the last example, child plus food, we get childhood, and the childhood is noun suffix. Now let's move to the next slide. Here we talk about verb suffixes. In the verb suffixes, there are only 4 suffixes that usually used with the verb suffixes, like ATE, EN, IFY, and ICE. And for example, we use bright plus en, we got brighten, and the brighten is the verb suffix. Final plus ize, we get finalize, and the finalize is the verb suffix. And the last example, solid plus ify, and we get solidify. Yeah. And now let's move to the next slide. Here we talk about adjective suffixes. Yeah. In the adjective suffixes, there are a lot of suffixes that use with the adjective. Yeah. Like a ball, all, and, at, and add to. And there are a lot more that you can see in the box as well. And for example, when we use the term agree with able, we got agreeable, and the agreeable is the adjective suffixes. And the second example, emotion plus all, we get emotional. And the third one, color plus full, we get colorful. And the colorful is the adjective suffix. Now let's move to the next slide. This is my last point of the presentation. It is about adverb suffix. And in the adverb suffix, there are only three common suffix that usually used in the adverb with adverb, like ly, ward, and wise. For example, we use the term usual plus ly, we get usually. And second example, after plus word, we get afterward. And the third one, like plus wise, we get likewise. That's all of my point. And the next, my teammate will explain more. Thank you.
Okay, let's continue to my point. Good evening, teacher and classmates. Today I will respond a comparative and superlative form of adjective. And we have 4 conditions to use comparative and superlative. And the first one, one symbol adjective and adverb. So this one we need to add er plus then for the comparative. And for superlative, we need to use est. And this is the for example. And the first example is the midterm test or harder than the final test. And this is we use the 2 words to compare. The first is midterm, then like midterm is easy than final. And second example, some students think that essay test the hardest. This is we use the superlative. And third, my roommate usually stays up later than I do. And four, Monica stay up the latest out all my friends. And let's move to next slide. And the second, we use most adjective and adverb of 2 or more symbol used than 4, and the cooperative form, the most of the superlative form. And for example, the Mexico restaurant downtown is more popular than the Chinese restaurant. And this is we compare, so we use cooperative. And the second example, the Vietnamese restaurant is the most popular. So this example, okay, let's move to next slide. And this is the third condition to use. And this is we use sorry, I can't see slide.
Anyone can see the slide?
Yes, I can.
It is point 3.
Yeah.
Okay, let me check my phone. Let everyone can see, like,
Yes.
okay. The third, two single word that end in Y. So, sorry. So, the third condition, like, we use like two symbol word that end in Y. Like, with the word that end in Y, we need to change Y to ER, and then this is, for example, the red car is sporting than the blue car. And second example, the black current ball is the pettiest of all. So let's move to the fourth. Wait a bit.
Does anyone see the slide number 4 about the following word have
Okay,
regular?
it's okay.
Yes.
The fourth condition is the following word have a irregular comparative and separative form. And this we use, for example, I like my classmate better than my maths class. And third example, I like my history class the best of all. And third, I am earning less money this year than last year. Of all my friends, Jen and the last money. And fourth, jumping is better exercise than walking. The best exercise program is a daily workout. So that's all for my part. Let's move to next member. Thank you.
So thank Jenny and also thank you everyone. And here's about my part. And first of all, I would like to respect the teacher and say hello to everyone here. So my point is about choosing the appropriate participle as an adjective. So as you know, participle have two types. The first one is about the present participle, and the second one is about the past participle. So about number one, we talk about the past participle. So what is past participle used as an adjective? Use the past participle form of the word when you are describing something or someone affected by someone or something else. So here is the point that you may need to notify is something or someone affected by someone or something else affected by. So note about this point. It means that you are being affected by something when you use past participle. So here is two examples that I made for you. So the first one, Hockley is interested in this clothes. So why I use interested instead of interesting? So here is the reason. I'm used interested in instead of interesting because I know that clothes was being Hockley is being affected by that clothes. So you need to know about the concept or the meaning of the sentence. So it means that Hockley affected by that clothes, not that clothes affected by Hockley. So you have to use interested instead of interesting. And about the second point, or the second example, Peter was excited as he had a chance to do the presentation. So I use excited instead of exciting because Peter was affected by the chance that he has to do the presentation. So you have to use excited instead of exciting because it's not a chance that Peter has to do the presentation affected by Peter. So that is wrong. So here's about the number 2 that I'm talking about the present participle form of word when you are describing something else, something or someone affect someone or something else. So here's the point that I want you to notify. Describing something or someone affect someone or something else. It is opposite about the past participle, like someone or something affected by, and here something or someone affected to somebody or someone else. So here is the example. Wichita writing looks amazing to me. So I use amazing, not amazed, because Wichita writings affected to my interest, not me affected to Wichita writing. So you have to use amazing instead of amazed. So be careful about this point. And about the second one, I think that interesting shoe will catch Johnny's eyes. So why I use interesting in you instead of interested? There are similar reason that I mentioned before. I use interesting because, oh sorry, I use interesting because that shoe caught Johnny's eye. It means that that shoe affect to Johnny's eye, not Johnny's eye affect to that shoe. So you have to use interesting instead of interested. So to get more clearer, I would give you some exercise that I took from the book. It is an exercise 3 from the book. So about the first one, my professor action was surprising to all of us in the class. In the bracket, they use the word surprise. So you have two choices to choose between surprising and surprised. So I'm choosing surprising. Why? Because here the professor action was surprising to all of us. It means that the professor action is affect to all of our interests in here. So you have to use surprising. And about the second point is about the room with its chipping pan, leaking roof, and lack of light. And here is talk about personality of the room. It means that it has chipping pan, leaking roof, and lack of light. So you have to use depressing because it affect to our interest or affect to our feeling. Yeah, something like that. And about the third exercise is about Mario is interested in the topic of the lecture because it is related to his research. So, and I would say that it's just a similar reason because they are all the same. I'm just interested instead of interesting because the topic is being interested by Mario, not Mario is affected by the topic. So you have to notice about this point. So I don't want to like explain about it like another exercise because they're all just the same and I don't want to waste any more time. So all I want you to know, all I want you to notify is that the first one, when you use past participle, you have to know that something or somebody was affected by something or someone else. Affected by, not affect. And about the present participle, it means that something or someone affected to somebody, affect to somebody or someone. So you just make clear about this point. So you may don't have like you may not make any mistake about the present participle and past participle. And as I know, they are all an adjective. So in adjective form, they call it like adjective past participle. In verb, they call present participle and past participle, but in adjective, they call it adjective participle. So that is all about my point. So I would pass this chance to Vijika to end this presentation. Thank everyone for listening and also thank you to the teacher.
All right, so for now, our presentation has come to an end, and I hope everyone will get what we have presented so far. And for this last minute, I hope everyone know how to use word form correctly, as we have already mentioned what the errors that the writer has encountered so far, and we have also talked about the solution to all those errors. And especially, I hope everyone will go check out more about the common word suffixes in order to, use the suffixes more correctly. Yep, and also I want you to make sure that you know how to use comparative and superlative forms of adjective, as well as choosing the appropriate participle as an adjective. So for now, our presentation has come to an end, and thank you everyone for paying attention. And I hope everyone have a good day, and we will see you in another term. Thank you. Chào anh.